Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to channel. My name is Anshu Kumar, and guys, we have an amazing person, a very experienced person with us who is going to talk about AI, and he's having a tremendous year of experience. He has already worked into so many domain, so many different kind of industry, and obviously, what I feel is like a sharing an experience and listening to someone who is already having an experience, a lot of experience in old technology and in a technology which we have seen maybe in last 5 to 10 years, and the technology which is relevant as of now in the market. So I would like to welcome Asit sir over here. Yeah, so Asit sir, if you can talk about yourself a little bit, I think that will give us a starting point, and then we'll talk a lot about AI, a lot about technology, guys. So sit tight, watch this entire episode, and yeah, in a fun way, we are going to discuss. So, yes, Aziz sir, first of all, welcome. And yeah, please about yourself a little bit.
Uh, Thank you, Sudhanshu. It is a pleasure that to attend your podcast, and almost 5 years now you are mentoring me. And the last 2 years back, I changed my career from to purely in data science from the engineering manager. So about me is I'm almost more than 15 years of experience. IT industry. I started my career with a government firm. This called the CDAC. We build a lot of projects for the Indian Railways and the Delhi governments. Then I started with the ACL technology, where I started my analytics career. I started from there. I joined there as a data analytics lead. So we actually work for the telecom projects, uh, almost 17 million customer that have, and it was during that time we don't have the latest technology that we currently have. So we did a lot of stuffs which are manual, and when I see today, lot of things change, lot of improvement happen. We by doing the agentic AI and generative AI, we do a lot of automations. So after that, I joined the Capgemini, where I almost the same telecom domains I worked on. I was work as a data architect there. So almost I spent 2 years there. Then I joined the HP in 2010. So I spent 10 years in HP almost, and where my product career start there. So last the product I worked there was the same like a AWS. There's a they call it a HP GreenLake. So yeah, that's all about my past experiences. And then I took a career break of few times to just revamp with a new technology and career path. Then I, after a long time of working, right, I thought let's take a break and help my son who was doing the 10th. So then I did a MBA in product management. Then again, transition to the data science roles. That's what I uh, did.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So one interesting question, sir. So as you talked about, forget about technology and companies and all those things. First of all, I would like to talk about a break, right? So basically, see, nowadays, many of us are feeling, stressed. We all are feeling maybe burnt out because we are, we don't even know we are running against who and what we are trying to chase. But yeah, we are trying to chase, something every day, morning to evening, and especially if I'll talk about IT industry. So in last 3 to 4 years, so we all have seen a drastic changes, right? So where 3 4 year back, which I remember, so people was like asking for any kind of a package, and easily they were able to get it. But now in last like 1.5 year, 2 year, this after this generative AI, a post LLM era, I would say, right? Post LLM era, post Chat GPT era. So we have seen that there is a lot of transition, there is a lot of firing and all those things. So how anyone who is feeling burnt out, who is feeling stressed, right, so they should relax themselves, or how they are supposed to plan their future? Because I believe this is a very very important question, especially for the IT people, and whomever now I'm like trying to discuss, right, these things. Everyone is having a same story, that yeah, somewhere they're feeling a stress, somewhere they have a fear, basically. So fear that maybe tomorrow they will not be able to retain their job. Tomorrow they will go to office, and then in one single 5 minute of meeting, someone will say like, okay, you are fired, something like that. So what is your advice? How someone is supposed to manage that stress part and then that anxiety part?
Yeah, so it's a very interesting questions, and I came across this page, right? So how I did it, I connected myself with a purpose. So during the COVID, when I just get a break, right? So what I did is, I find a reason what to do. Again, I join back, or I have to take a break and do some skill revamp, right? So almost I started my career as a technical, then I'm reached to engineering manager. So then I completely go off of the technology, right? Because of a lot of other stuff that you're supposed to come across, right? The job, family, health, all things, right? Then how I connected to a purpose, and I thought of what should I do? Should I do again, join back the job, or I do whatever I missed out, or bring my career to the next level? Then the two things I did is I joined a MBA in the product management, which also during that time I just exploring, and I got an opportunity. I joined it. Then I thought of why not spend some time with my son, who is struggling because of this COVID. There is no school, all things, right? So then I make that as a purpose. Then my parallelly I keep my learning, right? So then after doing few years, right? So when I MBA completed, then I again got through this. And thank you for you also bring that courses, right? So I joined, and lot of hands-on so I did during that time, that helped me to do the transition. So, and the good thing is, at the same time, as I spent time with my son, he also did well in the 10th. So I make a very, when I think today, I thought is a right choice that I did, though bit more financial losses, bit more stress. And the takeaways, make yourself connect with purpose, then approach it. You have some hurdles, but you can go through.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, like, find a purpose, right? Like, you were able to find some purpose in your family, in your son, and then around that you have built everything or rebuilt everything, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
even I feel the same, that at some point of a time, we as a human being, uh, we feel like down, we feel burnt out, we feel like anxious, we feel stressed out, and I believe a purpose, anything can be our purpose, right? But yeah, that is something which is going to help us out. That's amazing, that's amazing. So sir, you have already worked into our industry in last like a 15 year, right? So how do you see a technology has changed in a initial 10 year of your career, and 1 decade of your career, and then in last 5 year?
Yeah, it is a, very, very drastically a change. But so for me, when I look back, see, my whole career is started with the data.
Hmm.
I started as a DB developer, then the data architect, then data modeler, then data warehousing. Then, so when you see these current things, right, whether it's agentic AI, whether it's generative AI, right? So all are based on the data. So for me, it is yeah, not very difficult to understand, but for me, the difficult part was to get into the maths too, get back to the behind every AI, right? So there is a math. So just understand that internally how it is working, and then cope with the different challenges, whether it's life or the work, right? Or health. So that's how I did it.
Okay, okay. So as you talked about math, right? And again, I know like math is one of the biggest fear for many one of us, I would say, right? Because even I used to teach so many students, and the very first concern that they have with respect to data science or AI is, do we supposed to know our mathematics? I say no, you are not supposed to do a PhD into a mathematics. It's just like same 9, 10 mathematics. You have to revise so that you can understand. But honestly speaking, right? And I have this question from like for you, that how much mathematics is actually, see, I have already given this answer so many times, but yeah, from your side I would like to know that how much important this mathematics part is in terms of doing a real time implementation, not in a product based companies, because I know over there things will be different. Let's suppose I'm trying to serve a client in a MNC, because majority of us are going to work in that layer itself, right? So there will be like a very few set of people who will be working in a premium product based companies. Majority of us will be working in MNC, and again, like a good sum of people will be working in a startup, right? So let's talk about this MNC like a part over here. How much mathematics is actually required
So I
in
give a
implementation, not learning? Forget about learning.
yeah.
I can do the implementation. I can write code, right? How much mathematics is required then?
Frankly speaking, here is not very much mathematics needed, but I give a very nice analogy you can relate
Okay.
to.
Hmm, hmm,
You want to drive a car, fine, right? Just you don't need to how to the car works, right? Sometimes you are driving in the off road, and your car fails, right? So during that time, what the challenges that you face, right? And think on you are working on a product or working for a customer, and there is a team, and you find certain things are not working. So how if you don't have that kind of knowledge, right? So or rephrase, because already we did long back the means whatever the AI were learning, this is a 12th maths. 11, 12 math, up to that level math, then the additional thing. If you have that base clear, then anything you can pick up, right? So that's what means just working in a means any project or for customer, you may not need it, but in the same way, if there is some issues happen, certain things you need to fix it, right? You need to understand the internals,
hmm, hmm, hmm,
right? So
hmm,
that's where I get into maths, and what I believe is just going superficially is not enough. You have to understand as we are a techie, right? So we just cannot go to the surface level. We have to
hmm,
dig down to details, but it is really hard now because of lot of focus needed to understand that. I spent almost 3 4 years, right, almost 5 years to get into that level, but still I'm learning. Because
hmm,
every day there is
hmm.
a new research paper is coming, new things are developing. Just get into that, but uh, it's needed. So if you want to build a career, it's needed.
Yeah. So I mean, like, if you're thinking about a long term into an industry, maybe long term, in a long term, maybe a good opportunity that should come to you. Like I said, a product layer, because obviously, if you're working into a very good startup or into MNC, you must be thinking about a product company, right? Which is going to give you an amazing package, or maybe a very good position in a well funded startup. Again, they are going to give you a very handsome package, right? So yeah, if someone is thinking about a long term, and if someone would like to remove dependencies in terms of seeking a help from anyone in terms of understanding every new things, then I believe yes, mathematics is required. And yeah, it's a time taking things. Those who don't like mathematics, obviously it's going to be a boring one. But I
Uh,
believe
and and
yeah.
and it's not so easy. And how I make myself interest is I don't know, when my son was 12, 11, 12, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
I learn again along with him.
Oh.
So I did lot of things. Means एक तीर में दो शिकार बोलते हैं ना. This is the way I
हाँ
did it. So
हाँ
yeah.
बच्चा पढ़ रहा है, साथ में रिवीजन करते करते हमारा भी हो गया काम.
Yeah.
This is what even I'm thinking. Like I'm having like a 13-month-old babies. I have twins, right? One girl, one boy. So I'm just wondering nowadays that when they will be having an age of 7 to 8 years or something, when they will start learning, right? What I will do, I'll even start revising everything. I'll start creating content for them, and eventually that content can be consumed by the entire world. So this is what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
I'm
so true.
planning. I'm planning as of now, because I'm into a content creation business, right? So teaching business. Technically, it's a content, right? That we try to teach or try to record or do anything. So I'm just thinking. I don't know whether I will be able to do it or not after 8 years. Depends upon the energy and maybe situation. But yeah, as of now, that's the thought I have. That with them, just to tease them, because I love mathematics, I love physics, I love chemistry, right? Uh, so maybe I can do that. But yeah, that's a good motivation even for me that I can borrow from you. Okay, so our next question, sir. We all are talking about this generative AI, or like the agentic AI, and we have even seen that in last 2.5 month year itself, right after the launch of very first GPT model, many things have changed, right? So when 2.5 year back, OpenAI has released the GPT model. At that point of a time, we were not talking about RAG or agentic AI or MCPs or A2A kind of a protocol. But now market is filled with those things, and even a no code kind of a tool, right? And we all know their story, right? N8, and then OpenAI has launched recently something which is just drag and drop toolkit, by the way. So my question over here is that if someone would like to learn, right? Let's suppose data science, which is nothing but a core part, versus generative AI, right? So my very first question is, according to you, which one people should choose, right? So that they will be able to get an opportunity. Then the second question is that in a data science part, we are pretty much clear that we have to start with Python, then stats, then machine learning, then deep learning, then computer vision, NLP. End of story, right? Good project, build a resume, go for job. In the generative AI, we have like a lot of chaos. So many frameworks, a LangChain, LangGraph, Llama indexes, Crew AI, N8N, AutoGen, right? MC protocol, A2A protocol, agentic AI, RAG system, vector databases, so many things, right? So, according to you, what should be the flow for anyone who would like to get into a generative AI, or they should like, so that's my question. The very first question, like data science versus generative AI. Second question, if into a generative AI, as generative AI is trending one, what and all topic anyone should opt for?
So let me start how I started. When I almost 2.5 years back,
Hmm.
I actually came here to join as a leadership role, the current company.
Hmm.
So after a few months, the understanding my interest then told me to we don't have a AI team. Why not build it from scratch? And they have a product, no code, low code product. They want to bring few AI features, generative AI features, so that means AI can be bring to that product. So I started from the scratch and build a small team. Then we start with the low hanging fruits. What we did is first we take few use cases of HR, then use the just API prompt engineering. Then we solve few problems, right? For example, just to HR have 100 of resume. So how can you automate that? We create a skill fit kind of just to find that these are the four resume out of 100 meeting your requirement, just go for this. So then we started, actually we have our company has a very document intensive, right? So we have thought of how to integrate that part in our product line. So my part main is to build a team and do the research part, because when I came here recently, during that time recently Gen AI is generated.
Hmm.
So come to the market, right? So then we started. What we do is we build take a model. There is a called Titan model in the AWS.
Hmm.
So Bedrock, and we start fine tuning so that we can
Okay.
use it.
Okay.
So, but during that time, the problem was we don't have the huge data sets. We generate data, then train it, then we test it, but we won't get much, right? So
Hmm.
then we started with the again model, train the model.
Hmm.
Then we go ultimately as the accuracy was not so good,
Hmm.
so we go with the RAG systems,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So in the RAG also we started with the native RAG, then we'll go to the graph RAG. But the transitions, as we have a multimodal documents, we go to
Hmm.
the vision transformer.
Hmm.
Everything we did a research and make it ready so that bring create few prototypes so that it can be integrated in the product. Yeah, that is a part how I started. So my advice or my suggestions to the people, right? As now there are a lot of requirement in generative AI and agentic AI, just start with the low hanging fruits. get into the early learnings, use the take the APIs the way you train in the system, right? Bring some use cases, right? But if you want to build a career here, then think of get into the details, because if
Mm.
you see any things inside that generative AI, or a transformer model, or there are a lot of models, right? Behind that, everything are the deep learning and
Yeah,
machine learning. So
yeah.
gradually you have to get into that, and to understand and learn that, you have to also learn math and statistics.
Mm.
So that should be the path people should, or the newbies should take.
So first get into orchestration layer, and then once you are clear with the orchestrator, go into a depth of all those plugs that you have used inside the orchestration.
Yeah, and it's a very vast thing. It's not small
Hmm.
thing, right? So
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
needs considerable amount of time. And
Hmm.
the challenges one if is, once you do one certain thing, past things you are forgetting if you're not using it.
Hmm.
So that's the main challenges I face in my career, because they're not one thing. You think on, so statistics, maths, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, agentic AI. Then there is a lot of packages in Python to data manipulation, EDA kind of stuff, right? So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, sir, exactly. And one more thing, I would like to ask, how do you see a job market now? Yeah, job market was bad 6 months back. There were like a lot of fighting which was going on. But how do you see now? Is it like still going in the same direction, or people have started hiring? What is your experience?
There is lot of requirements, and people are also want to implement use cases, but they look watch out, then they invest,
Hmm.
right? Before 2 years, when I get into, then there is a buzzwords, right? So everyone want to AI. If there
Hmm.
is no AI, there is no product going to sell. But
Hmm.
now that's changed, and now people are think, then if there is a right use cases they have, there's a going to add value in their product, then they will do it. But looking forward, I see there are a lot of opportunities, though
Hmm.
now there is a slowdown.
Hmm.
But there are a lot of opportunities after even agentic AI. When I see that there are a lot of automations going to happen,
Hmm.
right? And happening, not happening, is
Hmm.
happening.
Hmm.
So thus I see there are currently there is a bit more slowdown, but in future there are a lot of opportunities.
That's amazing. That's good to know. I think that is going to give a lot of peace to so many people. Like people will feel like happy now, so that they can dedicate themselves for a preparation, so that they will be able to crack some opportunity maybe in next like a 6 to 12 month. So another question I have, just on a fun side. So which tool you like the most in terms of doing automation? There's so many tools out there, right? Especially AI tools. And
Yes.
whatever we are doing, even automation is not a new things. We have been doing even before a AI or LLM era, I would say. But yeah, so nowadays, which tools you like the most?
Yeah, so as I also learned from you, so N8N is very easy,
Hmm.
but as we are the product company, and as my forte is get into the building the product line, right? So I think Langchain and all things, LangGraph, those things are
Hmm.
more, means it give you a lot of flexibility.
Hmm. In terms of like writing a code. Yeah.
Yeah, writing a code the way, and if there is a complex automations thing, it will help us, because there is very limitation. And N8N, I see there are a lot of components they build around it, right?
Hmm.
We can
Hmm.
plug and play, but it comes with a cost, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So one is the cost, and second is the easy to implement, right? And third is what kind of, whether you were going for services or the
Hmm.
product.
Hmm.
So these are the three things you have to think on before deciding which tool.
Yeah, so even we have tried in it in for like so many production grade like use cases, but somewhere we feel like N10 is good. Plug and play, you can build an MVP in no time. You can go give a demo and close the workflow. But latency wise, I believe even hosting wise, you can host N10 on your own stack. That's completely okay. So N10 is not saying that no, you should use
Yeah.
my services, you should pay me. Without paying that, so you will be able to host it on your cloud platform or any server. But again, so when we were like, trying to do a lot of experimentation, so one major thing that I figured out is that a latency. So basically, you will not be having, so many things to control in terms of optimization. So if someone is supposed to take 1 millisecond of time, and if n is taking 10 millisecond of time, you will not be able to bring it down to 1 millisecond. And for that, somewhere I believe, yeah, a code based framework is required, LangChain, LangGraph, or any other framework. So where you have a flexibility over a code, you are the controller over there, and then like we can manipulate the way we want. But yeah, that's a major problem that I have faced, even with my team
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, in once I also ask you, right? So why in the industry people are not using the production level N8N, right?
Hmm.
So that's maybe one reason. So
Yeah.
one is performance and one is very rigid. You cannot for
Control the
product it is
background
not. Yeah,
background thing basically.
yeah,
Yeah, we can't control much in a background, although we can host it on our platform, but yeah, we can't control. But yeah, it's a good but it's a kind of a, a fun kind of a tool in terms of, using it. It's kind of a tempting, I would say. When you start building something, right, then you will start thinking that, okay, I can automate the entire world with this N8N tool. But when it comes to a production, the story is like a bit different as compared to the story that we see in a way day one.
yeah,
Okay, so next question, sir, for you. Job is fine. Obviously, we are hoping that in a future we will be able to get a lot of opportunity. People will be able to get. But how do you see a core job path? So, are we going to see an opportunity just on a generative AI, agentic AI side, or we will be having, or even now, so we are having an opportunity on a core data science or core AI side?
yeah. So here my perspective. I'm sharing my view and my
Hmm.
perspective. See, whether you're using a agentic AI or generative AI, behind that there is a model,
Hmm.
right? So, and when you either go for build for a customer or in the product, right? The things come is the whether you improve the performance
Hmm.
or how can you explain it, bring the
Hmm.
explainability of that
Hmm.
product,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
How that, for example, you are predicting a cancer, so
Hmm.
how will
Hmm.
explain it that how it is
Hmm.
predicting that, right?
Hmm.
Uh, I see get that level, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it is very much needed. You have to understand the model and internal
Hmm.
part.
Hmm.
So without that, it's very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 And sir, so how is Euron? What is your feedback about Euron? Just on a fun side, unbiased feedback. So if there is a complaint or if there is a negative feedback, yeah, you can tell me. What is your thought about Euron? What we are like doing is good, or what we should do, and how we should make ourselves better, basically, like so that in maybe in next 2 to 3 year. I'm even thinking about a long term plan. Let's suppose 2 to 3 year. So we will be able to scatter a world in a best possible manner. And what is your expectation as a learner, or maybe as a fellow learner, right? So whenever you go and join some platform, so what is your very first expectation, that okay, this platform should provide this, then I will go and join this particular platform? Because upskilling and learning is something which we all do, right? Even I use a hundreds of platform out there because I have to learn a lot, right? Maybe I use a lot of platforms so where I can find a research paper and then I read it out. I try to use chat gpt to understand that research paper, maybe mathematics behind it, right? I do a lot, right? And even we all are doing a lot in tech industry. So what do you think that any edtech platform nowadays should always do this in a very first place, and then rest of the things?
Yeah. So here my take on this. Uh, what I very much align with Euron or earlier I Neuron is right. So is that so building a prototype is fine,
Hmm.
but when you bring that to a production level, there are a lot of things need to do, right? That's what hands-on we are getting from you, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So Euron. So that's what I really appreciate and
Hmm.
bring that as much as can because so bringing a prototype is not enough. right?
Hmm.
So just the important is how can you bring that small prototype even to the production level,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
so that it is easy for that's what all about the learning, right?
Hmm. Hmm. And what do you think, sir? Like, which mode, as per you, learning mode is fine? Live mode or recorded mode, self-paced mode? Which one do you think? Because when I talk to students, right? So we are divided over there. Some set of people says that okay, I like a live classes because in a disciplined manner we can go, we can join, and some people say that no, in my own time I will be able to complete. But again, there is a different reality. So like when I have seen stats of lots of platform, and even when I see self-paced courses which is available on my platform itself, or even the previous one, and again the edtech average, so hardly 1 to 2% people, right? Doesn't matter what people are claiming, but yeah, the reality, and even you can go and ask perplexity, it will tell you the same story, or chat gpt, that on an average only 1 to 2% people are able to complete a self-placed, right? And again, content, it's just a content, right? So contents are already available in this entire world. We are not teaching anything new. We are just like giving our flavor, and then we are trying to discuss among the classes. So which one you feel people should opt for, a live or live versus recorded?
So I prefer the live.
Hmm.
Recorded is my personal choice. I actually doing all the calls on seeing the
Hmm.
in front of computer is not
Hmm.
interesting at all for me. So rather I prefer to read books, right?
Hmm.
So and when we in the live mode, at least we ask questions,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Then is the interactions is very much needed. It is not
Hmm.
one sided. Yeah.
So at the
That
end of the day, like I think somewhere it brings even a discipline, right? That okay, so master will be, a mentor will be available at this time. Even I have to be available at this time. Somewhere it brings a discipline. What do you say, right?
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah.
It's for senior people like us, not the discipline. It is a kind of interaction.
Ah, okay.
It
Okay.
is about there are a lot of things going in our mind, right? So
Hmm.
instantly when we study something, we ask questions and clear it.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
to jot down this and again ask in the letter is not going to happen.
Hmm.
So for
Hmm.
me, it is a very much interactive is needed,
Hmm.
and also it is also you get a chance to instantly ask the queries, resolve it.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
I am a lifelong learner. So for me, throughout the life, I will keep on learning, right? Because things are coming, but I enjoy. But I have to make balance that how much time I spend for learning and how much time I spend for work.
I think IT is the only industry in this entire world. So where people are supposed to be a lifelong learner. If you will stop learning, I think you are dead. No, because sometimes I feel that okay, so person who is into a different industry, obviously I'm not talking about the research industry, because over there obviously you are a learner, you are a researcher, right? So obviously you'll keep on doing it. But IT is the only industry, so where from a bottom of the pyramid till a top of the pyramid, so you have to update yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that's all my career. I said every 3 4 years I'm changing, right? So
Hmm, hmm,
whatever I started, right? I started with the Oracle and the Erwin kind of building a modern all things. Now
hmm.
completely changed to a lot of things, right? Now
So
we are using
I,
training model.
on top of this, I have one question, a personal question, kind of, right? So, are you going to advise your son to get into a IT industry, or maybe just go and maybe do some like become a doctor, become maybe a lawyer, or maybe do a CA or become a finance guy, but never get into IT? What you will do? Like, are you going
So,
to
so,
advise?
yeah. So what I'm telling him, or I'm not telling him what I see his interest.
Hmm,
He though see even engineering is a very interesting field, right?
hmm,
The things are coming on. For example, quantum. For
hmm,
example, space, right?
hmm, hmm,
So even robotics. So
hmm, hmm.
where you need a kind of mechanical engineering or
Hmm.
the
Electronics, electrical, robotics
electronics,
engineering,
electrical,
yeah, robotics,
robotics, yeah,
space
space,
engineering.
right?
Yeah.
So, but if you look into that, what actually there is a lot of data everywhere if you go, a
Hmm.
lot of
Hmm.
automations.
Hmm. Hmm.
So anyway, you have to, whether you study those, you have to use this computers or computing,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So you need to now, there's a kind of pie shape. Earlier, there's a vertical shape, one thing you
Hmm.
will do and did it. Now you have to do both. One is
Hmm.
domain, any particular engineering. If you need to go to the medical field, they
Hmm.
also the robotic surgeon, right? They
Yeah.
also you need a IT.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
so now you think on is a pie shape. You have
Hmm.
to master in the both two things. One
Hmm.
is domain, one is IT,
Hmm.
or computer science.
Hmm.
So that's what my advice, and this also I'm giving to my son and daughter
Okay.
too. Yeah.
So just try to get into both, basically.
Yeah, apply it means so this
Hmm.
is a add-on, but without that, you cannot do lot of automations, lot
Hmm.
of advancements you cannot do,
Hmm.
whatever the field you will choose, whether it's the medical or the
Hmm.
engineering, even the go to the legal, any field, even if you go to the banker. So
Hmm.
everywhere there is a computerizations
Somewhere, yeah.
automation. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere I always feel like, since so many decades, we were like always thinking that coding is something, or coding was something which we have always associated with the IT or a computer science grad. But believe me, I have so many friends. I have so many friends, and they are from civil background. They are from, a core mechanical background, and even they are working into a civil. I'm not saying that they, jumped into IT. They are working into a mechanical. They are working into that domain, but they are like a amazing coder. And again, this is not just about my friends. I just have couple of friends, but when I have seen a trend outside India, especially on a west side, right? So it's a very normal, people don't treat coding, or they don't associate coding as a part of only a CS grad or IT grad, but they think coding as just like a mathematics, physics, or chemistry. And I believe we as a country, as a like a whole country, so we have, neglected this particular part for very very long years. So we have isolated coding, but it should be, because anything like you have mentioned, right? So even if you will become a doctor, obviously there will be a robotic surgery that people are using nowadays, right? I'm not just talking about something which is hypothetical, but yeah, people have already experimented with that one. Even if you will become a lawyer, even if you will become a finance guy, even if you'll become a CA, everywhere, without IT infra, without a digital infra, you will not be able to do anything, right? And maybe you should be aware about coding the way we used to, like, learn about mathematics, physics, and chemistry. But yeah, let's see, because China is already doing it. China government has already, introduced a advanced level of coding for our kids. They're not just like a, and maybe we have also introduced. I'm not saying that, because now in ICSE CBSE board, in 6th class, 7th class, I believe there is a coding, but I believe we should change the label, right? We should change the label of the coding that we are doing, because again, that will be the same thing. Just for the sake of, introducing coding, we have done that, but maybe that kid will not be able to, get a kind of a label, so where he or she will be able to develop some product. But yeah, coding, we have isolated for a very very long time.
Yeah, just I add my
Hmm.
personal. Just I think 3 4 years back you start the I kid neuron, right? My son
Hmm.
is joined
It's
there.
on. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he started learning Python there. Then
Hmm.
also I was working on that, and he learned very nicely, and
Hmm.
he scored even the 12 more than 94%
Okay.
in the so what I understood is all about the exposure. If you
Hmm.
give the exposure from early childhood, so then they will as you said, right, take coding as a kind of maths,
Just like math, physics,
right?
chemistry. Yeah,
Yeah,
regular
so
part of a syllabus, regular syllabus.
yeah, yeah, it is already incorporated in our Indian syllabus, CBSE syllabus,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm. I mean, like, I'm just trying to say that we are late. Like, other countries have already introduced that, like, a decade back, but yeah, so now we are adopting it since last 3 4 year, I believe. And maybe I don't know, like, what is the label that we are able to achieve, but yeah, that is something that we have progress. Again, sir, coming to the last kind of a question, right? I think we are talking about these things since last 45 minutes. So, what will be your advice to your, like, juniors, basically, who are trying to get into, or they are trying to, change a field in a tech domain? So how they are supposed to like do a preparation, what kind of a preparation they are supposed to do, in which field they are supposed to go, what kind of a syllabus they are supposed to follow, or anything that you would like to share with your own experience. Just anyone and everyone who would like to get into a data science or in a field of AI.
What I understood is all about the person's interest.
Hmm.
If that person have interest to programming, yeah, maths, so then I suggest him to get into there, right? As they are
Hmm.
starting their career,
Hmm.
and let them to bring very strong mathematical and programming base, because without that you may be a software engineer, but going forward it would be a bit difficult to understand things. See, now lot of code is automatically generated, but you need to understand that code. To generate the code and bring it to the production level is not so easy task, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and just my suggestion is, if you have interest in that, just go to the depth and learn it. And if you do well in that, excel in that, then there is a bright career.
And how much time does it take in general? I mean, like I know timeline is different for a person, but in general, how much time a person should take for a first transition?
Yeah, so if a person is completing an engineering,
Hmm.
you say, so already he have good understanding in math and all things, right?
Hmm.
Or who are doing this when first, second, third, fourth semester, they should be focused on this part. They should not only focus on the internship, all things, right? They
Okay.
get into the details of how maths and all AI things work, right? Because they are very much related. Earlier, computer science, there is not much required is mathematics.
Hmm.
But when you see the data science, there is a lot of math
Hmm.
understanding is needed. That's what my personal
Okay. So how much
advice. Yeah.
time? Again, like my question is like how much time one should, dedicate, a year of time or 6 months of time, or maybe tentatively in terms of numbers of hours.
Yeah, start parallelly from your seventh semester.
Okay.
I think when you start with the seventh semester, I think during that time they do the projects, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So then when you are within a year and a half, right, you will be ready,
So
because
year.
already you learn this, right? Already
Hmm.
in the engineering or 12th, you
Hmm.
learn
Hmm.
this. Just you have to
And on
apply.
and what about the person? Like, let's suppose I have done my engineering. I'm already working somewhere, right? Maybe I'm working as a support guy. I had some background of engineering, but yeah. So let's suppose I'm like working as a telecaller somewhere, or maybe I'm working as a support guy somewhere. I have 3 to 4 years of experience, and now I have to switch my domain, my career into a field of AI. So in general, how much time they should dedicate on a daily basis? I would say. And then with that, time spent on a daily basis, on a regular basis, so how many number of month or year they are supposed to, take to make a transition. And let's imagine I'm one of the worst learner, or maybe slow learner, we can say. So, yeah.
So start from the seventh semester.
No, sir. So let's suppose like
Okay,
a person is
yeah, every day
person is
spent.
experienced person, like 3 4 years of
Okay.
experience I have as a support guy.
Okay, so then I think spend 1 to 2 hours, because that's the time you can make it out. But
Hmm.
here the motto is the consistency.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you put the consistently 1 year,
Hmm.
right,
Hmm.
then you break it. This is how I did it
Oh, yeah.
after so
Yeah.
much experience, because maths and again go back to the programming and things. It needs some time, some
Hmm.
and fix a cool time. In what I did is morning time.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Morning
when you
time.
phrase, yeah, when
Okay.
you phrase,
Hmm.
you spend that time, apply it, read it, or
Yes.
then consistently will do, you'll
So
crack.
why I have asked this question? A reason was very simple. Nowadays we have seen that many jobs are changing. Our role is changing, right? Because of automation, obviously AI, and yeah. So every one of us is having a lot of fear that maybe my job will not even exist tomorrow. Support guy, a guy who is working in a BPO, KPOs, and all those things. A telecaller, right? A sales person over a phone. and I have experience, maybe I have maybe 10 years of experience, right? So nowadays many people come to me and say that okay, I would like to get into generative AI, I would like to get into data science, and how much time I should dedicate apart from my, like, a regular job that I do, and then how many number of month I will have to spend. And as you have already done these things so many times, so that was the only reason I have asked you this question. Yeah. Okay. So, coming to the last question, by the way, over here. So, AI have changed a lot in last 5 to 6 year, and especially if I'll talk about 2.5 year post LLM
Yeah.
era,
Hmm.
it is changing a lot. Everyone is just talking about LLMs and everything around LLMs. No one is talking about a computer vision. No one is talking about a machine learning, right? How do you see that part?
See, what I understood is now the transformer is so much capable.
Yeah.
It can do all your tasks, whether it's a computer vision, whether it's your NLP, whether it's your structured data, unstructured data, every kind of use cases you can solve through the using the transformer. One
Hmm.
example that we have a certain document with the images, right? So we
Hmm.
use the
Hmm.
VIT, vision transformer.
Vision transfer.
So
Yeah.
to just to chunk it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I mean, if you now focus on the transformer
Hmm.
inside that, maybe it's generate API on and get into visually details into
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
So I think that is good part.
So I think we all should focus on LLMs, but yeah, all kind of LLMs
Yeah,
basically.
all kind of LLMs.
Or especially like not LLMs, I would say, not just large language model. My bad, a transformer, basically.
Yeah, so in the transformer there's a two part. Recently I'm going through it. One is representation learning.
Hmm. Hmm.
So how you means understand the data, right?
Hmm.
So and
Hmm.
create the vectorization embeddings.
Hmm. Hmm.
So then second, this is what the generative AI
Hmm.
and what just correct me if if I'm not right
Hmm.
as I'm learning. So the second part is the agentic AI is much more based on the reinforcement learning, where a lot of
Hmm.
human and machine interactions will be there,
Hmm.
right? So that's what my current learning.
Agent,
That's what
ag-
I.
yeah, agentic AI is more like understanding your NLPs and based on that calling a proper set of the function. Technically, we call that as a tool, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it's not about only learning. It's also while you learn,
Hmm.
you also improve it.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's where
Hmm.
the reinforcement learning or
The
thing
feedback,
is that. Yeah,
feedback,
feedback loop. Yeah,
RLHF or
RLHF. Yeah.
DPO
So
kind of a learning.
so agentic AI that every time you run some things, if it fails, it
Hmm.
learn automatically, then improve next time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's what my current understanding is. Correct me. So
Hmm.
I'm in the transitions mode. That's
Yeah.
what. Yeah.
No, 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 sir, it's correct. Agentic AI, I mean, like when we talk about agentic AI, right? So in general, it's just a natural language understanding. But yeah, so this you can try to add even as a feature. By default, system will not do it. By default, system will not call RLHF. By default, it will not be a DPO.
Yeah.
That's the
You.
understanding that I have. Yeah, it's at a fee as a feature you can try to add it obviously. Yeah, but yes, I believe it was an amazing conversation, sir. Like since last 54 minutes we are talking. I think we talked about so many random things as well, right? Friends, families, jobs, hope. By the way, what you should do when you are depressed, you are stressed. Plus some technical discussion, some tech words also we have used in our entire like episode. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Uh,
Can I
and
have one or two questions for you?
okay, sure, sir. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I also want to know how Sudhanshu manage his time on so much learning he do, so much classes he do, right? So much, almost 10,000 people you make the transitions. So
More than that, yeah.
yeah, so how you are doing? What is motivating you to do that, and how you recharge yourself or motivated?
Okay.
in this.
Okay. So I always suggest people that discipline and consistency. This is the only thing that you should focus, and which is very difficult for most of us. Believe me, right? We all have a lot of excuses that okay, maybe this day I'm not feeling good. This day this came into my life. This day there is a function I have to go outside, and majority of times so we are not able to say no to many things, right? Maybe our family, right? Maybe we are not able to say no. So what I have learned in last like 11 year of my career is that discipline, consistency, and again, so if I have to work for 6 hour, 6 hour. Okay. Now I have a 18 hour of time, so where I can go and sleep of about like 8 hour, and then I can spend again like another 8 to 12 hour on other things, right? Maybe with my family, maybe I'll go out, have fun or something. But if you will see that if you're spending 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hour consistently, right, for an entire year, and then maybe for a next 3 year, 4 year, or 5 year, you have actually worked a lot, right, as a human being, as a normal human being, and everyone is not going to work for that many number of hours, believe me, right? Everyone is not going to work, right? Because we always keep on saying that okay, 9 to 5, and then like we need 2 days of this or that. So I always say that every one of us is having 24 hour. Be disciplined enough, be consistent enough. No one is telling you that work for 18 hour or 12 hour as a human being. It's not possible for all of us. So don't try to stretch yourself, because at the some point of a time your body will start like backfiring on you, and maybe you will end up getting placed into some hospital instead of getting placed into some like a good company. So don't try to go against your body. Just try to wake up at same time, and throughout a year same time. Let's suppose I say that, maybe I'm not a morning person, right? For a very very long time I was not at all a morning person, but yeah. So if I used to wake up at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, I will keep on doing it for a very very long time. And then if I sit for a work at 11 o'clock till maybe 5 o'clock, I will do it for month on month, not just for 1 days or 2 days, right? And then in between that period, even if my family member will come and say that no, I need your attention, I will simply say no. That is a bottom line I have set in my life since not just 11 years, even before that when I was in engineering, or even before that when I was just a kid. So somewhere I have developed that kind of a DNA, and believe me, that helps me a lot, right?
Mm.
And you will end up enjoying your life. You will be having enough time to do party with your friend and family, right? You will be able to give. No one will, believe me, no one will come and complain to you that no, you are
Yeah.
not giving me time, because that's the biggest complaint as we grow in a life, right? Your kids will start asking for time. Your like parents will start asking for time, because if you are in 30s or 40, especially if you're in 35 and 40s, right? So you have to balance both the side, your parents side, because your parents are getting older, and then your kids so they are like even growing. So yeah, discipline, consistency for a very very long time. Then obviously always try to plan that okay, tomorrow I have to do this, and it's better to plan before one day. In general, in my case, I used to plan for an entire week, that okay, fine, so in this week I have to do this, and simply I'll try to focus on that part. uh, this is what I do. It's a very simple thing. I don't like take much of a stress. Uh, I do a lot of party. Lot means literally a lot. And yeah, so I have surrounded myself with again, people matter a lot for me. So I've already surrounded myself with so many like different kind of a people. Maybe you can say entrepreneur, a person who like a developer who love a technology, right? So again, if you are surrounded yourself with that kind of a people, so people will keep on motivating you, right?
Mm. Of course.
So
Yeah.
people will keep on talking about some new ideas, some new words, buzzwords, which maybe I'll not be aware about at that point of a time. So whenever I'll go home, I'll like I'll be alone. I'll start searching about it, right? So
Yeah.
this is like just a part of life, simple. So yeah. So again, I just give advice to everyone that consistency and discipline. If
And
you
enjoy
are,
your life.
yeah, for a very very long time, simple, right? You are not supposed to be a morning person. People suggest a lot of things, right? They give a lot of gyan that, okay, you are supposed to be a morning person. This, that. I mean, like discipline and consistency. Just you have to remember two words. Apart from that, I don't use any other motivation in my life. That's it.
Yeah, good to know. And then second question is, as you started the young Euron, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what is your next plan, or what you're looking into next 6 months to 1 year time?
Yeah, so Young Euron is a new initiative. So, experimentation wise, I have already done the experimentation. I believe you remember in my previous company, there was
Mm-hmm.
a small experimentation from my side. And at that point of a time, even coding was not that popular. And AI was like the kind of AI that we see as of now. So, we all know that 3 year back or 4 year back. So, we were not talking about that kind of AI, even adoption wise. So, there was a very, very low adoption among a common people. Again, there was an adoption. I'm not saying that there was no adoption at all. There was an adoption among a company. So obviously, in a company, we were building a lot of product, right? And that's the
Mm-hmm.
reason. So I was teaching AI since last 7 to 8 years. But yeah, among a common people, the kind of adoption that we see. So even if you'll go outside and if you'll ask shopkeeper that have you heard about AI, he will be even able to
Mm-hmm.
talk about maybe 2 or 3 app, especially a chat GPT, right? He will be able to talk about it. But before 3 4 year, it was not a case. So AI adoption has increased. Even common people have started talking about a technology. This is something which has happened beautifully in last 3 to 4 years. I'll say awareness. So at that point of a time, there was not a much crowd. So we have to, forcefully bring, or maybe we have to convince our parents that, okay, I think your kids, require this coding knowledge or AI knowledge. But today, if you'll go in a market, you don't have to go and convince. They're already like they already know that, okay, my kids is supposed to know AI the way like he or she is supposed to know maybe physics, mathematics to score good into their exams. So this is something which has happened beautifully, and keeping that in mind, I have started Young Euron again. That, okay, so I have already done the experimentation 3 or 4 year back. So let's try to start Young Euron. Business model wise, if you'll ask me, so I'll try to bring that into a same model like Euron Plus, right? So where you can go with individual and you can go with the complete package for the entire year. If I'll talk about courses or curriculum wise, so we have a plan to bring courses, especially in Hindi and English for our kids, but not by using some drag and drop kind of a tool, right? So let's suppose if we are trying to bring maybe like like a Python courses, let's suppose, right? It should be a complete practical one. Because the reason is very simple. Even if that kid will be able to understand 20 30% of like the entire curriculum, I'm not expecting that he or she should be able to understand 100%, right? It's difficult for them, I know. But even 10 20%, believe me, that is going to help them in a future, right? But if I'll just, because I have seen many people like many organizations, so they are even giving a education to a young children, but majority of time they're using just drag and drop block coding, you can say a block kind of a coding for a very very long time. But yeah, I never believe in that side of it. I always believe in a pure practical, right? Introducing to a reality. And at the same point of time, I don't want them to understand 100%, right? 10 20% is not even 50%. 10 20% is more than enough, because they will be able to get the idea, right? They need maybe at that age, they need a spark. They just need a kind of a vision that, okay, this things can be done. And recently last week itself, in a young Euron class, the AI class that we are doing, I've used lovable code, right? I simply, maybe you have seen the app, right? I have already posted that app in a group. uh, so we have created a lot of app. I know kids had not written any line of a code, right? Lovable has done all these things, but they were able to get the idea that, okay, the kind of a motion chapter that they try to study in a physics, right? We can animate it. By animation, we can try to understand basically, right? A motion chapter, a friction inside it, laws like three Newton's laws, basically, maybe a Archimedes principle, all of these things. Chemistry, when we talk about a periodic table, so maybe we are not able to understand the nature of all of those like 100 plus elements which is available in a periodic table. But when they visualize it, when they try to animate it, I'm not saying that they will be able to understand 100% and they will be able to remember, but they will be able to remember more than that they are able to remember now, right? The kind of a like education. Similarly, so we have automated a lot of mathematics part in a fun way. We have animated, right? So now, like a couple of kids inside my class, so they were able to build a beautiful, beautiful app. And believe me, I have just given them a vague thought.
Yeah,
As you can think
I've
in this
seen.
way. I just told them that animate it, right? And then I told them that, okay, think about the animation part, that how, what kind of a game you will be able to create, make it real, and make it in such a way that, people who are going to use, or kids who is going to use your app, they will be able to, feel curious about it, and they will be able to learn something. They will be able to get a better marks in their exam. And believe me, just go and check all the app. Link is already available, right? It
Yeah.
is fulfilling the power, and you will be amazed. Believe
Yeah,
me, you
yeah.
will be amazed.
My daughter is a part of that, and I see the app, the Sibyl.
Hmm.
It is really interesting. When the first app Sibyl is completely different now. Once your last week, right?
Yeah.
She built a very nice. I think chemistry some app, right?
I have given chemistry,
So
mathematics,
yeah,
physics. So I think
yeah,
four topics we have chosen, and then we have divided those four. I think two was from chemistry, no, two was from physics, one from mathematics, and one from chemistry. And everyone have them. I built a different kind of application, different kind of app. I mean, like core philosophy is same. We were trying to
yeah.
understand math, physics, and chemistry, right?
True,
So
true.
I don't want to compromise with their math, physics, and chemistry, because I know that is the ultimate thing they are supposed to. And code or application is just a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So English is just a way to communicate, right? Just to understand me and you, just to understand each other and the entire world. In a similar way, coding or this app that we are trying to create, it's just an interface for us, right? At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, I just want them to be very, very good in mathematics, be very, very good in physics and chemistry. And they were able to do that. And like it was, and again, just by giving how many classes? Two or three classes?
Mm-hmm. Really, they're picking up very fast.
Yeah.
So that's what I understand.
And
Your
that,
mentoring is awesome.
yeah. So my vision,
So
as you have asked me, like, what is my vision with respect to young Iran? Keep it practical, simple.
yeah.
Even though they will not be able to understand 100%, and that is not even my expectation. My expectation is only 10-20%, right? I'm okay because I know what they will be able to do after a year or maybe two, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like, so we'll keep on bringing such kind of programs, curriculums in a practical manner. We'll not try to launch anything which should look easy to a kids on a day one and maybe easy to a parents on day one. Will not try to bring those kind of things, especially a block coding kind of things, because I know it's not going to like
Yeah.
help any one of us.
Here just one thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So if you will see kids from the 10th onwards, 10, 11,
Hmm.
12, there are a
Hmm.
lot of maths equations,
Hmm.
mainly
Hmm.
11, 12, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Even I try with my son that
Hmm.
just bring this numpy and
Hmm.
just to let and this visualizations too, let them to understand how each equations are formed, right? How
Hmm.
equations are giving the plot,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
so now everything they are not able to just read the books, and
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
if we get that kind of visualization, then
Hmm.
understanding will be
Hmm.
very uh, strong going to happen. So that's one feedback
Just
maybe I
wait for
had.
just wait for another six. I think 6 week. No, not 6 weeks. Six classes left, right?
Uh-huh.
Just wait for that class. They will be
Okay.
able to. So we are going to create an app where they will be able to understand a calculus. They will be able to understand geometry. We have a limitation, and again, so in a class, there are mixture of students, right? So some of them are from sixth standard, eighth standard. So I can't bring everyone on this level, but yeah, in a future, even I'm planning that. Okay, let's suppose there is a AI class just for 10th or above, 10th to 12, right? Obviously, I'll just ask them that automate your entire curriculum, gamify your entire curriculum, visualize your entire curriculum. So that is a kind of a plan that I have. And Yeah, so I think very soon we'll be able to do it. And that's the best way to teach, right? They will never be able to forget it, by the way. Because
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
even we as an adult, right? So if I'm going to ask many people like just draw a cosine graph or sinusoidal graph, many of us will get confused in a very first place.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do it, sir. We'll do it.
Okay. And then you are doing very good job, Sudhanshu, and just keep doing all the best and wishes from my end.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you
So
so much. And happy Diwali in advance. So
yeah,
tomorrow we
so
have a
wish you a happy
Dhanteras.
Diwali. Yeah,
Thank you,
sure.
sir. Thank you. You too. Yeah. So
Thank you.
tomorrow I
Nice
believe we have a
talking with you.
Dhanteras. Pleasure, sir.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Take care. Take care. And
Take
hope
care.
every of you have liked this entire conversation, raw conversation, by the way. So, with that, thank you so much. I'm going to attach Asid's LinkedIn ID in a description. So, if you'd like to connect with him, so feel free to connect with him, have a chat. And those who are already a part of Generative AI Batch, so by the way, he's already a part of your group, so you can ping him directly. And if you want, he can reply. Again, no commitment from my side that Asit sir is going to respond. It's his personal choice, as simple as that. So, with that, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, sir. And see you
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.